Today's webinar will cover some of the basic features of the iOps360 platform. First, we'll go to iOps360.com and click the Login button. Your supervisor will provide you with a login name and a password to get into the site. If you have any trouble getting logged in, you can contact your supervisor or use the password reset features. Once you've logged into the website, when you get to the home page, there's going to be two important things on the home. First, My Upcoming Events. This is going to show you your upcoming schedule, details, locations, partners, those kind of things, and you're going to see your educational requirements. The schedule up above will include any classes that you're teaching or taking inside the organization as well. When we get down to My Requirements, you'll have one or more user roles assigned, and you'll see all the requirements that are attached to that user role. So in this case, I'm listed as an EMT, and I must have my state card, a driver's license, and my CPR certification. Requirements are divided into three aspects. First is going to be classes, which would be things like your BLS, ACLS, PALS, things that have an instructor, roster, location, date, and time, those kind of typical classes you think about. Licenses would be things that you have when you show up to work. This would be your state card, your national registry, items like that. Anything that doesn't fit into those two categories can be considered a skill, such as a TB test, a PPD fit test, items like that. So your user role will contain all of the requirements, and it'll give you a red, yellow, or green color on My Requirements, as well as next to your name throughout the site. When we start going into the site, we'll look at the schedule menu, and we'll dive down into availability. This is where the part-timers will submit the days that you're available to work, and this is where admin will pull from in case there's an opening, leave, time off request, extra shift, that kind of stuff, and where they'll look for your availability. So we'll click into January. We'll click a couple of days, and those will build a list over on the left-hand side. From here, we'll pick whatever times that were available, first half, second half, anything in between, customize those times, add any notes that you need, and you'll hit Create Availability. The days will be added to the availability calendar, and you can go back and select different times if you want to add additional shifts. When it comes to the notes, if there's things that you want to put in there about a station preference or any kind of information you want to pass on to admin, that'll be a great platform to do that. Next, we'll go back to the schedule menu and we'll take a look at shift swaps. Shift swaps or trades are where you can swap a shift with another individual. In this, it's going to ask you for what kind of swap you want to do, whether you know specifically who you're going to swap with, or it's going to be a giveaway. First, we're going to dive into specific person, and we're going to do a shift for a shift. This is going to ask you for the second person. It's going to ask you for what shift you want to give away and what shift you want to trade with that other person. So a shift for a shift is going to be my Wednesday for your Thursday. Versus if we do a partial shift swap, this will be a scenario where it won't ask you for the second person's shift, meaning I'll hit you back later on, maybe never kind of scenario. The third kind of shift swap is going to be a giveaway. This is where you're going to broadcast, I don't want to work this day, and it'll let you pick where you're going to go on leave and who we're going to broadcast that out to. So in this case, we've got user roles of EMT, FTO, other observer, driver. You'll pick what the applicable person is that can cover you, and then you'll fill out the rest of the information, including any notes, and hit submit. Once someone volunteers to cover that shift for you, then that'll go to administration for approval, as with the other two kinds of shift swaps as well. If there's any reason that swap is denied by the second person or by administration, everyone will get notified in between. Lastly, we'll go into the schedule menu again and go to time off requests. If your agency does time off requests, and if you are available to do time off requests, this is where you can say, I don't want to work this day and I'm going to use my leave balances. We'll pick a day in the future. The system will go ahead and check and make sure there's not too many people off that day and it meets the minimum requirements of advance notice. We'll pick the times that we want off that day. We'll pick our leave category and any kind of notes such as a rationale for why we want off that day. As long as there's not a time off exclusion where the agency has blocked certain times such as Christmas or those kind of things, then the system will let you proceed. Then once the administration approves it, you'll get a notification that your time off request has been approved. A couple other items in the schedule menu, the day, week, and month views. The day view has got the most details about your organization, the times, notes, those kind of things. And the month view will be more of a standard monthly calendar with a little bit less details. Next, if we click on operations and we go into the vehicle checks, you'll see where you can do your rig checks for each of the days. When you fill out a rig check, we'll hit fill out, the green button there. We'll enter the date, shift, unit, any kind of information up top, and you'll see all the questions down below. You may see things up in the top right hand corner of each of the categories that say click all, unclick all. Those will be helpful boxes that will go ahead and click all the boxes for you and save you a little bit of time. Each of the drop downs, the items that you'll see in here will be customized to your apparatus and to your organization, so they may be a little different from what you're seeing on the screen. Items like mileage, picking of equipment such as which monitor, which stretcher, those kind of things on the apparatus are also there as well. Don't forget to check out additional pages up here. There may be more questions, subsequent pages and colors out there for those as well. If you need to put any kind of notes about the vehicle check, you can do that as well. All items are going to save real time, so if you start filling out a vehicle check and you get popped on a call, you're not going to lose the information. Vehicle checks can also be filled out in the app as well. That can be done in airplane mode or online. Same concept, those are going to save real time in case you do get on a call. It's not going to lose that data. Another item that we can take a look at under the education menu or the resources is going to be the actual resources section. This is going to be useful for policies, procedures, any kind of documentation that the organization has. Some of these may be required, and the system will actually bring you over to this page and force you to comply with a couple of these things if needed for compliance reasons. We'll click on that policy, we'll open up that policy, and then we'll get validation. That'll go to green color indicating that you've opened it and complied with the policy. Last couple things inside the system, if you click on your name in the top right hand corner, that'll take you to your user profile. From there you can update your contact information, email addresses, sign up for text messaging, manage your subscriptions, which are automatic notifications inside the system, different things like that. Set up the Google Calendar sync so that whenever your schedule changes, it flows right to your calendar on your phone, those kind of things. There's a lot of other options that may be turned on for your organization, including the education module. This will hold continuing education courses such as PowerPoints and quizzes. Different platforms here to manage your licensed advanced certifications, add skills, see all your documents in your cards. You can add additional cards, those kind of things, and see those under the education menu as well. Under the operations menu, you'll find a variety of items in here, such as the inventory, forms, equipment manager, send out messages, work orders in case there's any issues inside the organization as well. Alright guys, we appreciate you choosing iOps360 for your platform. Don't hesitate to reach out and give us suggestions on how to improve. Appreciate you. Y'all be safe.